Unit 1, Government Policies and Public Services. So as I said, today we're going to be talking about policies affecting the military services. There's 4 different policies that affect the military services. There's declaration of war, increased use of reserve forces, increased use of technology, and link with other international services. Today, on your table, you're going to be talking about reserved forces. You're going to be researching and listening to the information I provide you to then make a poster and present the information for others to aid them for their assignment. Until the late 1990s, military reserve forces were barely used on active duty. There has been an increase of use of reserved forces. Over the last 10 years, with operations in Afghanistan and Iraq, reserve forces have become an essential component of the UK fighting force. Since the invasion of Iraq in 2003, 17,000 troops have been TA volunteers. That was 9% of British forces in Iraq and 4% in Afghanistan. I want you to think about the different pros and cons of using reserve forces. So the question I'm posing to you are, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using reserved forces? I want you to pause the video and have a conversation with your peers in regards to the question I'm posing to you. There's many different pros and cons. Commanding officers have indicated that reservists may be less physically fit to handle with the demands of conflict, and frequently they have not received satisfactory training or had the chance to be deployed with a regular unit. So basically they're saying that these reserve forces may not be able to physically cope with the demands of conflict and maybe haven't received inadequate training. The advantages are that it brings wealth of experience from their civilian lives, which enhance their service greatly. The government is dedicated to preserving reserve forces, although they are considering policy changes on how they are trained and organised to try and bring them in line with regular counterparts. So the government are basically trying to make amendments to bring these reserve forces in line with the normal regulars, so that these disadvantages don't continue to occur. I want you to now research in further depth the advantages and disadvantages of using reserved forces